Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and from Denver, Colorado. Happy Monday, everybody. So today is actually August 1st. I can't believe it's August 1st, 2022, but here it is. And so I think I have a really cute project for you. To be honest with you, I don't even have a card made. I have an idea in my head, so we'll kind of see how this goes. But I want to show you some product that's in the mini catalog that might have been overlooked that I want to show you that I think is worth seeing. So first of all, let me show you the stamp set that we're going to use, and I think it's easier to just show you here in the catalog. We're going to use the little penguin stamp set, and of course we're going to use the coordinating punch. So that's a stamp set. It has tons of little cute pieces. It even has like two little beaks for the both different little penguins. It has a bow tie. I mean, just look at all the words, the snowflakes. It has everything in the stamp set that makes it really cute. And then the items that might be overlooked a little bit, we're going to turn to page 40. Is right here is this Snowflake Vellum. Now it is really pretty. Let me show it to you, see if you can see it a little better up live and in person. So the vellum snowflakes is like this, and look at that. So you can see how pretty that vellum has, like that iridescent foil on there. And there's this is one sheet, so there's 3 sheets of the foil on there. Look at how pretty the little snowflakes or the kind of little dots are. And then it has 3 pieces that are flocked. So look how pretty the flocking is on the other. So there's 6 pieces in here. So really you could get 36 card fronts like I'm going to show you out of this whole package of vellum. And I don't think the catalog does it justice as how pretty it really is. Look at how pretty that is. Okay, so let me try to put it back in the package so I don't lose it later. It'll be flying everywhere. Okay, but that's one thing that we're going to use today is that Snowflake Vellum. And another thing in the catalog is the puff paint. Now we've had puff paint before, so this is a comeback. But I don't think I've ever really played with it before, and I played with it a little bit, and I think I've fallen in love. So let me show you what we're going to do with those products. And to be honest with you, like I said, I don't have a card to show you. I think I'm going to start with a birthday card, and then at the end I'll show you how we can make a Christmas card out of it too. Because we've been making so many Christmas cards, and here it is only August that, I don't know, we're going to make some birthday cards. So let me show you my 2 card bases. Here we go. I have a bunch of paper here. So here's 2 card bases. This one is Pacific Point, and this one is Tahitian Tide. Now we're going to use both of them, but I wanted to show you, look how pretty those 2 colors are together. I don't think I noticed until today, and that's why I wanted to share. We're going to use the Tahitian Tide here on the birthday card. And then I have 2 sheets here. Well, really I have 4 for the other card too. I have a basic white, just your layer that's 5 1/4 by 4. And the first thing we're going to do is take that vellum, and I'm going to use that foil vellum first, the one that has that really pretty iridescent on there, and I'm going to add it to this so that when I put it on my card front, it's going to be really crisp and white. If you just add it onto the card base, see how it kind of mutes it and turns it into that blue, which is really pretty. Look at how it turns. It just makes those colors pop. But like I said, I want it on the white. So I'm going to use my sticky dauber. At least that's what I call it. It's just a dauber that I only use for glue. So it's sticky, it's gross. Usually I can't find it because it's stuck to something. But in a little bit of liquid glue here in the corner. And I'm going to just tap some glue on the back of that vellum about where the snowflakes are, so you can't see it through when you have it on your paper. We'll see if this works. Like I said, I don't even have a card, a sample card to show you. It's just all up in my head, which could be really scary. But let's go ahead and put this onto that piece of white. You should line it up just right. And now it should have a little bit of wiggle room, and I can fix that so it's straight. There we go. And now I have that really pretty piece of vellum. Okay, let's go ahead and do the card base. I'm going to fold it. Now, did I tell you that my card base is half a sheet of cardstock? So it's 5.5 by 8.5, just scored at 4 1/4, and there's your perfect card base. I'm going to go ahead and put this just right here. No, I'm not going to put this on the front yet. I'm going to add that snow slope first. Okay, so on a piece of Tahitian type. Now I lost it. Anyway, this new ink color that's the blue that's so pretty that goes with my Pacific Point. I'm going to stamp on here first. And I'm going to bring in a matte just because it's photopolymer. And I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper. Now, I like to use, when you have clear or the see-through stamps, which I call photopolymer, you need to have a pad on there. I like to use the pad from my Stamparatus because we sell the small grid sheets that fit on it perfect. You could also use the Pierce mat. That would work as well, but it needs that little extra cushion. And then just on this scrap of cardstock here that I know is 5.5, I'm going to take that stamp. Let me put the stamp set here so you can see what I'm using. This stamp here that looks like the snowbank, I'm going to ink that up in some Tahitian tide here. And I'm not even going to measure how far up. I'm going to just guess. It's not going to be perfect here. But kind of toward the middle so I can cut it on the front or on the two ends. I'm going to just stamp that image right there. Just tone on tone. And then I'm going to fussy cut it apart. And like I said, I'm going to make sure too that I get all of the ink on to the top half of the paper because I don't want it on my card. But just kind of follow so I get that snow line. You could just freehand this, but I like the shape of this stamp, so I'm going to just cut it like this and go all the way across. And now, like I said, if you look, I don't have any ink. Wait, I have a piece that looks bad here. Gonna fix that. And maybe that's the only one. Okay, but there's no ink, or if there's any ink, it's very little on my cardstock, because sometimes that puff paint picks up the color from your ink, and I don't want it on my card. So I am going to bring that silicone mat back in. Here's the sticky stuff. I'm going to make sure I don't get my paper in there. But the puff paint is kind of messy, and I don't want to get it all over my work surface. I'd rather get it on my silicone mat. It's really liquid. It's liquid. I'm trying to think of what it's called. Runny. There it is. So like I said, you need to shake it good. I've shaken mine a few times today, so it should be good. But I'm going to take the puff paint and just run it along the edge here of my cardstock. And it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to just do the best I can. And I'm going to kind of smear it around a little bit. Make sure it gets nice coverage there. There we go. Now I'm going to turn my heat tool on, let that heat up a little bit. And then I'm going to add some heat to that puff paint, if you can see it on there. And then watch what happens. Now I'm going to be careful that I don't overheat it or burn it. There it goes. But you kind of get that flocking from the puff paint here on your cardstock. I think I just burned my thumb. There we go. I should have let my heat tool heat up just a little bit more. But there you go. Then I just have a thin line there of what looks like snow along the edge. And that was a very thin row. Next time we do it for the next card, I'll make it a little bit thicker and you can see what I did. Okay, let's set this aside. I'll clean that off before the next card and bring in that vellum piece here. Now I'm going to just take this and I'm going to attach it to my vellum. So I'm going to just use a little bit of of tape runner and guess about how far. I think it's going to go about this far. Put some right on that vellum. Figure out where about I want my bump. And I'm going to just guess that I want it about there. And now it's on my card. Okay, let's turn it over and trim that paper, that cardstock down to match. So now we have a piece that looks like that. Look how cute that is on our Snowflake Vellum, like that. Let's go ahead and add this, and I'm going to be careful that I don't smash that puff paint. I'm going to add this to the front of our card here. There we go. Just like that. So far, so good, right? And isn't that background with that snowflake really pretty? Okay, let's add some pieces on there. The first thing I want to show you is what I do when I get a stamp set, especially one like this. I keep a little package like this on the inside that has all those little pieces and parts that are extra that sometimes I've cut. And now when you get a big image like this one, or a solid image like this, I usually just stamp a bunch of them on some plain white paper or the basic white cardstock. I'll try to get these all out. And then I run them through with my scan and cut and make them cut them out. Let me show you. I did the same thing with those balloons. So here now I have a bunch of balloons that I have already cut out that we can use on our project today. Now the scan and cut, I don't know if you have one or not, and maybe you feel the same way I do. Sometimes he's my best friend and sometimes he's my worst enemy. Now in this case, he cut out, like I said, those trees and balloons really nice. He wouldn't be able to cut out a present because it's not a solid image. It has those white lines going through it. The same with the scarf and the hat. He wouldn't be able to cut those out either. And to be honest with you, I didn't even try him with the little penguin because it has such a solid or a fine line. I didn't know if he could see it. So we're going to go ahead and just punch a penguin here. So I'm going to use some Memento black ink and a little penguin. And now if you look at your punch, looks like this. I'm going to put him with his head down because I want to put the head into the punch first so it punches out easy. So I'm going to just take a little penguin upside down like this and stamp him down. There we go. Ooh, look how nice that turned out. Ooh, and while I have that black ink out, on one of these lighter blue balloons, I'm going to stamp a little happy birthday on there. Let's see if I can get it straight right here. There we go, and stamp a little happy birthday right there on my balloon. I think that turned out really nice. Now on my little penguin here, I'm going to stamp his nose. And like I mentioned earlier, there's a nose for the penguin that's facing this way, and there's also a nose for the penguin that's facing this way. And I'm going to use some Mango Melody. It's just kind of a bright, happy orange, I'm going to call it. And find that little nose. Here, oops, that's the one's wrong nose. Maybe I don't have the right, here it is, right? Yep, here it is. The little nose, I'm going to just attach it or stamp it right here in front of his face. Look how cute that is. And then I'm going to do the same thing with his little feet. I'm going to just stamp one right here. And then I'm going to stamp one right here. Now he is going to a party, so we have to dress him up a little bit. So I'm going to bring back in that Tahitian tide. And then another part of that stamp set is this adorable little bow right here. So I'm going to take that and that Tahitian tide and just stamp it right there, I guess on his neck. So now he's ready to go to the party. Look how cute he is. Is that not adorable? Okay, so while my paper's out, I'm going to stamp a little package because if you're going to a party, you can't go empty-handed. You have to have a package with you. So I have some Highland Heather here, and I'm not sure why I picked Highland Heather. I think I went a little bit more purple because we'll probably put some Gorgeous Grape, Tahitian Tide, and some Pacific Point balloons on there. And I thought oh sorry, can't do two things at once. Highland Heather package would look cute on the card too. Okay, so first thing we'll do is just punch out our little penguin here. I might have to re-stamp my package because I put it in the wrong spot. Line him, yeah, I'm gonna have to redo my package because it's gonna, the punch is gonna, well, let me just do this real quick. Let me get my package out of the way. There we go. Now we can punch him here. I should have used a little bit bigger piece of paper, huh? Because it's Hard to get it in there. But there we go. He's all lined up with the punch, just like that. And now we have the most adorable little penguin that's ready to go to the party. Okay, I think we have all of our little pieces and parts now. Let me cut my package here real fussy, cut it real quick. Just giving it a little tiny white border there. Okay, and I'm even going to take some glue right now and just glue that package to his hand. Okay, now he's going to go right here. And in fact, let's just take some dimensionals and go ahead and put him on our card. And I'm going to have him sitting right here atop this hill. And then while we're at it, let's add a couple trees to the side so it doesn't look quite so bare. Let's do 3. And those 2 I'm going to look for some mini dimensionals. Let's see if I have some mini dimensionals. Oh, I do right here at my desk here. Whoop. I'm going to add some little trees. That way it's not quite so bare in the background. And I think I have enough of them. So we'll add a tree there. Oh, you know, one tree, I think I'm going to put just flat on the card right here. Well, if I can get my tape runner. There we go. That's better. We'll save that one for the next card. Put one more little tree over here. There we go. And now it's time for those little balloons. So I'm going to start with the balloon in the back. I'm going to take a purple one and put a little bit of adhesive there. And then I'm going to just use some linen thread here real quick and run it along the back. Maybe add some more adhesive on there just to make sure it's on there nice and good. And then set this down about right there. Cut the little string, and then let's do the same thing with this Pacific Point balloon, only this one I'm going to hold that linen thread down with a little bit of glue down here at the base, and then a dimensional. So lay my thread down, throw a dimensional on there, and then have that hold on with that glue. Just let it set for just a second. There we go. And then set this little balloon maybe right there. Good enough. And then that last happy birthday balloon, we'll do the same thing with him, with a little bit of glue here at the base. Hold that linen thread on with the dimensional. Oop, got it too high, I don't want my thread to show. There, hold it down on the base with that little bit of liquid glue, and then just place him right here in the front. There we go, look how cute. Now let's just take a little glue dot here and put a glue dot on his hand. In fact, I'm going to fold it in half and put it here on his hand, and then we'll just run those strings right over that glue dot. And there he has, let me cut these a little bit shorter. There we go. Let's go ahead and tie a little bow. see if I can get an itty bitty one here. How does that look? We'll put that over the, yeah, that looks pretty good. Trim these ends a little bit. Should have used my ribbon scissors, but those worked. Okay, and then I'm going to take another glue dot, and this one I'm totally going to fold in half the other way and lay that there, and then right there in the front. And look how cute. Isn't that cute? Love that background. I think that's a really cute card. Not bad for in my head and not not out. Okay, let's go ahead now and make a Christmas one and see what it turns out like. Okay, we'll come back to that one. So we're going to use that Pacific Point base. It's the same thing, half a sheet of cardstock. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And then this time we're going to use that flocked. Looks like this. I'm going to do the same thing with my mat here. Put a little bit of the glue there. See if my sticky dauber, nope, he's not stuck to anything, he's right here. A little bit of liquid glue on the back, and I'm going to just get the corners. That's a lot there. See if we can get rid of some of that. A little bit in the center. We'll see if the glue shows through, but I think if you daub it on like this, you won't have that problem. Okay, and put this onto a piece of basic white. Again, that's 5 1/4 by 4. If you want to see the measurements and all the supplies I used on today's card, you can go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com. The link will be in the description below or above, depending on if you're watching me Facebook Live or if you're watching me on YouTube. But look how cute that looks with that flocked on there. Okay, now let's do the same thing and stamp on this. Where did my, here's my mat. And we'll cut this again. That Tahitian tide. And that snowbank. And cut that down. There we go. This time I'm going to get my puff paint a little bit thicker so we can see what more puff paint looks like. So shake it up just a little bit and put a little bit along that edge, a little bit thicker row of puff paint here. Here we go, heat up that heat gun or heat tool. Yeah, can you see how I have it thicker on there this time? I think this is going to be, well, it's going to be more. So we'll go ahead and take that heat tool and watch it puff up this time. It's kind of like putting your own flocking on your cardstock, kind of like the snowflakes on the vellum. Yeah, looky there. Is that not fun stuff? Look at that. Okay. There we go. And then once again, where did my... I put everything away now. I can't find anything. Here they are. This time, I'm going to put this onto here with some dimensionals. So I'm going to just put a dimensional in this corner, a dimensional in this corner, and then I'm going to put 3 dimensionals up on the back of this piece, and that way I'll know that they hit the places that I want them. This might be a little wide. And this way I won't smash my puff paint either. I'm going to lay this. Where do I want my bump? I think I want my bump about right there. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I wanted to stamp my greeting on here first. Let's see if I can stamp my greeting when it's popped up like that. Yeah, we'll see what happens. If not, we'll take it off and read it again. So part of the stamp set too, this little saying that says, be cool, be chill, be merry. I'm going to try to stamp that right here, just on the front. Drum roll, please. Ah, look, it worked. Yay! Okay. There we go. Now again, with my little box of goodies, or my little bag of goodies, we don't need balloons on this one. It's going to be a Christmas card. We'll need 3 little trees, which I have right here. 1 sticky tree. And then I've already stamped a little penguin like this. And I went ahead and fussy cut the little scarf and the little hat and the little package. And on him, I even punched his little feet. And then I have another one here that's like this that I just stamped and fussy cut along with the beak that goes the other way, part of the stamp set. And I also fussy cut him a little hat here. We're going to add them as soon as I cut this down so that it matches our card front. Look how cute that looks. Oh, and look, I put my finger in a spot here. We'll be sure and put a tree right there. In fact, let's go ahead and put this tree. I'll just put a dimensional at the top. Should have been a little bit more careful, not get my finger where it don't belong. But that's what's cool about paper crafting, is you can always fix if you have little mishaps like that. So we're just gonna, well, wait a minute. Should we put the little, nope, you know what? I think we're gonna put this guy here instead. So let me get some regular dimensionals or standard and put him. I'm gonna kind of put him up high so I can cover that little spot that I messed up with my finger. Looky there. What spot did I touch with my finger? Look how cute he is. Then we are gonna take that little tree though and put it back here behind him. There we go. And this guy's going to be down here at the bottom of the hill waiting for his buddy, because they're going to go to a Christmas party. At least that's the crazy ideas I have in my mind. Something like that. You know what? I'm going to hit that a little more with my heat gun here. Oh, now I picked it all the way off. Okay, what not to do on Kathy's videos. Let's go ahead and take him off, and we're going to fix that little spot. There we go. Put his hat back on because the glue got his hat a little bit warm and loosened the adhesive. All right, we got to move it up a little bit. There we go. That looks better. Okay, we need a couple of trees right here. Just put one right there. And this one I think I'm going to put on with a couple glue dots. And stick that one right there. Right behind. Alrighty, there you go. So there's my 2 cards. Now I need to finish the inside, so I think that's what I'll go ahead and sign off, and I'll go finish the inside of my cards. But now you know how to use that puff paint, and you got a really good look at that, excuse me, Snowflake Vellum. Thanks for watching. Again, a supply list and the card measurements are on my blog. If you ever have any questions, be sure and reach out. Thanks for watching. I'd love for you to like my channel, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, just to give me a little bit of support. I'll see you back here on Friday. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.